book by Gary Keller, and if you all will turn to the first handout in your packet, the book is called The One Thing, the surprisingly simple truth behind extraordinary results. And y'all, in all of our presentations, we begin with key quotes, giving you some language out of the book so you get a flavor of what the author says. And if you'll follow me, I'll do a few of these for you at this time. The first one, where I had huge success, I had narrowed my concentration to one thing. And where my success varied, my focus had too. Secondly, extraordinary results are directly determined by how narrow you can make your focus. Third, everyone has one person who either means the most to them or was the first to influence, train, or manage them. No one succeeds alone. No one. Skip several. You can become successful with less discipline than you think for one simple reason. Success is about doing the right thing, not about doing everything right. How do you like that? Yeah. And then the bottom one is, I learned that success comes down to this: being appropriate in the moments of your life. If you can honestly say, this is where I'm meant to be right now, doing exactly what I'm doing, then amazing possibilities for your life become possible. So he begins the book with is talking about 6 lies. These are myths that people have had about success in their lives that have been perpetuated, and he shoots down every one of them. One of the things he says in the book is, buying into the one thing becomes difficult because we've unfortunately bought into too many others. And more often than not, the other things muddle our thinking. They misguide our actions and they sidetrack our success. So I'll tell you a little bit about each one of these lies. And y'all, he's very clear about what is a lie and why it's a myth and why it's wrong. And frankly, it's very persuasive, even though perhaps it may not be horribly original, it is persuasive. Now, one thing I want to say before I get into this, you know, a lot of months in here, I always talk about that one of our goals is to have you fool somebody you've read the book yourself. And that's what you do with this. If you want to put it in emails or conversations or meetings, that's the objective. So I want to tell you what that is. You want to fool somebody you read the book yourself. There are passages that are pre-underlined for you. So you don't have to underline them. Through these pages, they're already there for you, and you can tell people that many of these passages have been underlined, and that's how you can fool somebody who actually read the book. Now what I'm going to do is fast forward to you to the 10th chapter to talk about the focus in question. Because what he says is, a lot of people crave answers, but our real focus ought to be on a question. The reality is, answers come from questions. And the quality of any answer is directly determined by the quality of the question. How we phrase the questions we ask ourselves determines the answers that eventually become our life. So this is the key question. I think this is the focus of what this book is about. What's the one thing I can do such that by doing it, everything else will be easier or unnecessary? And I have that on your outline from page 106. What's the one thing I can do such that by doing it, everything else will be easier or unnecessary? So this is a very motivating, exciting book. Anybody can do this, but it requires a little bit of rewiring and a little bit of change in terms of how you execute. I hope you all enjoyed that synopsis of The One Thing.